Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today, we're flying the Cirrus SR22. We're going from Talkeetna, Alaska, down to Kenai, and then we'll be continuing on to Kodiak after that. The first flight is going to be a fairly short one, should be about 38 minutes. We're going at 16,000 feet. The second one from Kenai to Kodiak will be closer to about 50 minutes, and we'll be going probably 20,000. So yeah, kind of a 2-for-1 this stream. So everybody climb aboard, let's go flying. Alright, here we are loaded in. Okay. Battery switches. Just configuring a couple things on here. Let's go ahead and set our autopilot up. Okay, so yeah, just focused on kind of getting our autopilot stuff set. 16,000 for our cruise altitude, 110 knots on the FLC, as we usually do. Here we are on the far end of the ramp at Talkeetna. We can go ahead and turn the strobe lights on. Battery indicator, of course. Let's check a couple of other things while we're at it here. Let's go mixture full rich. Boost pump on. Throttle full forward. Pull it back. And just bump a touch forward. Clear. Right. Left. Magneto switch. Clear!
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known.
Alright. All pressure's up in the green, temperature's beginning to rise. It's warm, 27 Celsius here on the ground at Talkeetna. Currently it's tied with the town of Eagle, which we've flown in and out of many times, for currently the warmest place in the state of Alaska. It's quite good weather in most of the state today. Unfortunately, my original plans were to go out of Cordova, and the weather sucks there right now. Heavy rain, 4 miles of visibility, yeah, so that kind of put a damper on that. I figured it would make sense to go out at Talkeetna, though, since we flew here yesterday. Alright, let's lean the mixture out. Looking for peak RPM. There's a peak back to idle on the power. And alternator switches. Avionics. We'll turn the nav lights on and we'll get ready to taxi. Let's grab the weather here while we're waiting. Talkeetna. Variable at 3 knots, visibility 10, clear skies 27 Celsius, 30.12, that is set. So the choice of runway is really up to us, given that the wind is light, only 3 knots, doesn't really matter. So we'll probably go off of 19, since that's going to be the direction of flight. Although if we take runway 1, we'll get a beautiful view and then we'll begin a turnout. Maybe we'll go runway 1 for the scenic way. Won't add more than 1 minute of time on the flight. Let me go ahead and bring up, there we go. So you can see the progress on the flight from Talkeetna to Kenai, and then I will update that with the flight from Kenai to Kodiak, of course, later on. Let's see. Alright, looks like we've got everything. Let's go ahead and release the parking brake. Looks like plenty of stuff over here. Now let's go over this way. Center line, we're going to make a right turn. We're going to go to runway 1. Won't add just a few seconds on the flight, and scenery will be well worth it. We'll get a heads-up view of Denali. Yeah, they're missing a line there. These lines are off, you can tell. Alright, so it's going to be a right turn. If we took a left turn, maybe going to 19. Not having any differential brakes makes it tough to make these real sharp turns like this. Alright, pull back on the power a bit here.
Overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you. This bond is solid gold. We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to find you. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give.
Here we are, holding short of runway 1. Set the parking brake. Look at that. There's a light right in the middle of the taxiway, and it has you going out. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, they definitely got to fix some of this here. Okay, let's go ahead and do a run-up checklist. Nope. Ah, I hate that. Put your mouse in a certain place and it'll trigger the parking brake. Alright, first thing we're going to go ahead and check is the engine run-up. We go mixture fall rich. Put the power to 1700 RPM. Going to be set about right there, 1692. Okay, that's close enough. We'll do a quick mag check first. I'm going to check the right mag. It's good. We can go back to both. Good. Now the left. Good. Back to both. Engine instruments are in the green, no errors, no cautions or warnings, other than the parking brake, which is not engine related. Now we'll check the electrical load. Landing light, ice light, pitot heat on. That's good, no changes. We can shut these two off. We'll leave the landing light on. We'll go ahead and pull back to idle power. Set the flaps to half. Check both sides. Actually, we'll do the flight controls as well here. Rudder's good. Elevator's good. Ailerons are good. Both flaps are set to half. Back into the cockpit. And quick autopilot check.
Engaging autopilot.
Good. And trim is set to... It is now. Okay. Trim is set to take off. We can go ahead and release the park and brake. Pretty standard on takeoff. We're going to go out onto the runway, full power. 77 knots. We'll rotate, lift off in the low 80s, fly out runway heading 800 feet above the ground, which will be about 1200 on the altimeter. We will engage the autopilot and go ahead and turn. So actually I do want to set this. Nav is on. We're going to turn the heading on. And set it to as we're going. Now we can just focus on that. Turn as needed. Full power. Engine instruments are good. Airspeed's alive. And we're up. Here we go. Right out over there. Oh, there it is, Denali. And you get the forest and the Talkeetna River. This is a beautiful area. I really enjoy flying around here. Flaps up. We kind of climbed out a little long with the flaps up. That's okay. And engage the autopilot. We're going to fly back this way. Keep turning. Started to turn and try to take us back on the nav course. And look at that view that we get right here. That is beautiful. Alright, we can turn the landing light off. Continue the turn. We'll fly back overhead the Talkeetna airport and intercept the course. There, we're getting the color change. Looks to be a tiny bit bumpy over here. Let's grab a look outside the cockpit quick. So there's the airport, and here's the town. Of course, this is the Talkeetna River. You look back that way, Denali National Park, the summit. I believe this is called the Talkeetna River, if I'm not mistaken. There's the airport, and if you take a look right here, you can see it better now than when you're on the ground. You can kind of see the words, or the name, Talkeetna, in the pavement. It's kind of neat. Alright, back into the cockpit here. Nav is off, so we can actually engage it. It should turn us on course to intercept. Once we get established on course, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to pull back the power for cruise climb, but we're going to go rich of peak for best engine power. And we do that often in the cruise, but we're going to do that in the climb today. And This is kind of an untested method, because their full power climb specifies ridge of peak and everything. But their cruise climb procedures are set for lean of peak. So we're going to try the ridge of peak climb and just see what happens, and we'll monitor our engine instruments and be prepared to make any changes necessary. Alright, so here we are on course. I'm going to go ahead and pull back to 30.5 on the manifold pressure. And we're going to look for peak power. And it was right at whatever setting, about 90%. So yeah, right there at about 20 per hour. Pitot heat required this close to the ground. Wow. Given how warm it is too. That's a very rapid decrease in temperature. Alright, grab a look out here. It's quite pretty. We look up this way, of course, Talkeetna right back here. Denali, Mount Foraker's, the other tall one back here. More of the Alaska Range. More forests. I believe these... Actually, I think these are the Talkeetna Mountains. Is what they're called. The Chugach Mountains are further south, kind of back over here. So our route today is actually fairly short, so we're going to be coming up, following right down the Talkeetna River Valley. We'll pass over the Cook Inlet onto the Kenai Peninsula and come in and land right at Kenai. Anchorage will be off to our left at a little more than the halfway point, I would say. So I'll have decent scenery on both sides, kind of the mountain ranges in the distance, some water. And we're getting good climb performance too, I mean, between 14 and 1700 feet per minute. Now we're going at 110. We would normally speed up to about 120 for the cruise climb. All our engine temperatures are looking okay. So I'm not really too worried about speeding up, although we could. In fact, you know what? Yeah. Why not? Let's just accelerate to 120 and we'll get a little bit better speed. and our rate of climb will still be good. Need to lean the mixture a little bit more. Yeah. Let's pull back. There's 90%. That's too lean. Right there. There we go. And we only have another 3,000 and another 3,200 feet to climb. Since we're only going at 16,000, because this is such a short flight, it doesn't make much sense to go all the way up to 20, 22, 24,000. As we'd basically reach that altitude and be up there. We would spend more time in the climb and descent than we would at cruise. It just doesn't make sense, so. We have just a slight headwind component today, about a 3 to 4 knot headwind component up here. Most of the wind is crosswind. But pretty weather all over this this area today. All over the interior and south central Alaska for the most part. Even southwest Alaska is getting pretty good weather today. Except some parts of the Aleutian Islands are not. Actually, most of the Aleutian Islands are not. But the Alaska Peninsula all the way down to Cold Bay is getting quite nice weather. Couple exceptions seem to be Seward and Homer further south on the Kenai Peninsula. So we'll probably be going through or over some of that rough weather on our way down to Kodiak. Well, the weather in Kodiak itself isn't terrible, it isn't great. It's pretty bad at Cordova. But throughout almost all of the interior, it's pretty. Now, good day to go flying pretty much anywhere in the state. Alright, well here we are. We have leveled off at 16,000 feet. We don't need to do anything with the power because it is set the way we want. Let's go ahead and switch the fuel tanks over, and then we can shut the fuel boost pump off. And we just kind of sit back and hang out. Pretty easy. You know, the plane is still accelerating to its cruise speed set for power. Should be probably between 155 and 160. I would say probably about 157, I think. Yeah, and our time en route is dropping pretty fast. Still about 87 miles away. Yeah, okay, you can start to see the Cook Inlet, which is all right here, and the Kenai Peninsula is over here, and Kenai Airport is going to be kind of down around here, I believe. If you look over here, this is Anchorage, right there, kind of the split in the Cook Inlet, and then there's an island. This is called Fire Island, and I don't know why it's called Fire Island, but it is. And then again, Talkeetna River. Chugach Mountains out that way. And you can kind of see this bit of a glacier right here, which is kind of cool. Right around there. If you look out this way, there's more of the Alaska Range. And I don't know how well we can see it now, but one of these, I think it's this one right here, actually, is the Iliamna volcano. It's kind of around the start of the Alaska Peninsula. And for now, we kind of just get to hang out. Yeah, we're cruising at 100. That's actually higher than I was expecting it to be. We're cruising 161, 162, which is pretty good.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain.
Yeah, we're moving along at a pretty good speed. It's quite nice. Take a look out here is all the Matsu Valley. So Palmer, Wasilla, Willow, a couple other towns in those area, or in this area. All those towns and stuff like that kind of lying right through around here.
Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make
Which, along with Anchorage, is one of the
we know that there's
most populated areas of Alaska.
no we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night.
With good visibility, we can already just about see Kenai. I mean, can't see the airport, but it can see where it would be located. Given that you can see the topography of the peninsula. Some very light turbulence up here this afternoon. We're already over a third of the way there. We're coming up on almost the halfway point. Once we passed over here, out over to the Cook Inlet, we'll be I think, a little bit over halfway, and we'll be probably pretty close to the point that we would begin our descent into Kenai. Now we have a direct crosswind. I mean, it's direct. Our true airspeed is the same as the ground speed. That's not too common. Grab a look out that way. Oh, that's pretty out there too. I will get a quick look around out here. And we go back and look this way. Denali, of course. And on the other side of these here would be Fairbanks. And the Tanana River Valley. Alright, we are right at the halfway point. Look at that view of Anchorage over there. That's pretty neat. So the airport is right here, of course. And then downtown should be kind of sitting right back up over here. Of course, Elmendorf Air Force Base up here to the north. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab the weather at Kenai since we're close. I think we're only 53 miles away. So let's take a look. 2253, variable at 6. 10 miles visibility, clear skies, 24 Celsius. That's quite warm for Kenai. 30.14. So what we'll do is go ahead and set that there. There's a whole list of airports and stuff like that around here. I wish what they would do is give you only the airports that actually have reporting weather. Because all of these down here, they don't. All of these don't. All of these don't. Let's go ahead and set up a choice of procedure. So we can do one of the ILS approaches, but the weather's good. Why don't we just do a visual? 2 left or 20 right or 20 left? Let's pull the chart up. We're gonna have to choose pretty quick because we're gonna have to start descending pretty quick. Yeah, so we want the longer runway. 20 right, where I mean basically going straight into that. And the wind is variable, so I would say let's set up for 20 right. Yeah, we have a little bit of time before we have to start descending, but not a whole lot. And the approach course would have us going there, no. We're not doing that. That's pretty wonky. So we will go ahead and set our course direct to here. And that probably would have us start descending immediately. Yeah, it does. So let's go ahead and turn the FLC on and take some power out. We need to put our power back in because it canceled the FLC. Descend at that, and then we can just... Now if we do that, we should be fine. Is the terrain modeled everywhere if you choose to land the plane somewhere outside the airport? If that's possible at all. Yes. It is, however, it isn't always 100% accurate. So I mean, they have like a ton of grass strips around here. All throughout the state. Grass, gravel, dirt. And I mean, in the Alaska bush, which is basically everywhere off like the road network and stuff, they do have the ability to land off airports. Particularly, you'll hear them called like bush planes with large wheels. You may hear them referred to as tundra wheels. Stuff like that. And basically what pilots would be expected to do if they're planning to make an off-airport landing is to overfly the area at a low altitude, maybe between 500 and 1,000 feet above the ground, and just circle it and evaluate if it is safe for them to land. And if it is, great, and if not, then to fly around a little more and look for a suitable area in a different but close location. Look at that right there. A view of Anchorage and the Chugach Mountains. And this right here is the turn again arm. Basically separates the peninsula from basically Anchorage and the areas lying north. And then, of course, the Nick Arm up here separates Anchorage from the Matsu Valley. And the Kenai Peninsula basically starts here. Comes around that way. I have Anchorage, yeah, I did see Anchorage. But I have Kenai inside as well. If we zoom in and take a look. The airport is right here. In fact, you can almost see down to Homer. And those are the mountains kind of where Seldovia, basically the southern limit of the Kenai Peninsula. That is how good the visibility is today. That is super. Some of the best weather I've seen in this area. And the bad news is the weather at Kodiak is getting worse. It was gorgeous this morning. I would have loved to do a morning flight, but I had things that I needed to do here at home. But I would have absolutely loved to do a morning flight because the weather in Cordova was better than it is now. Although it's starting to improve now out there. And it was crystal clear in Kodiak, which is rare. So I would have enjoyed that opportunity, but oh well. Can't do everything, I guess. But yeah, Maria, that was a good question. We have a pretty good descent rate.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love.
Showing about 7 to 8 minutes on the ground.
Don't say you're on the run to the other side.
And then we'll head over to Kodiak.
My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Thanks, that would be nice to see some of the lands closer. Yeah, so here's the thing about that. You are not going to do any sort of off-airport landing in this kind of a plane. It's too fast. The way it's set up and stuff like that. Just not going to happen. So what you'd probably do is take the... And I can show you the planes. But they're going to be, for example, the Zleen Shock Ultra, even the Zleen Savage Cub. And honestly, I mean, you could do it with even the Cub Crafter's X Cub, which is a bit stronger. Well, I should say stronger. A bit more powerful in terms of aircraft performance than either of the Zleen planes. But then again, that's what those are made for. They're made to fly low, slow, be able to operate in and out of rugged environments. So, I mean, I can definitely do a flight in one of those sometime. And try to do some off-airport landing and stuff. The problem with this simulator is that it generally won't let you start from what's, I don't know, not an airport. Because if you click on the map anywhere there's not an airport located, it'll generally try to start you airborne. And I don't think there's a way to change that, and if there is, I have not figured it out. So I'd have to look into it. But it would be fun. There are ways around it, but it requires you to load into the simulator, slew the aircraft, which is kind of a... It's kind of a cheat way to place it where you want, but then you have to move around the sim world, and you can't just pick on the map. 5,000. We can go ahead and continue descending here. Set 150 for a moment. And let me look at the safe altitudes over the peninsula. It's 4,800. This one is 1,300. Wow, yeah, okay. Now we can go all the way down to 1,300 on here. Pull a little more power. Cylinder head temps are okay. Let's go ahead and start doing some descent checklists. So we're going to turn the landing light on. Do we need to enrich in the mixture? We do need to turn that on. We don't need to switch fuel tanks yet. Yeah, we do need to enrich it. So push the mixture forward a little bit. It's about there. Get a bump in aircraft performance. Take a little more power out. There's the airport, and the town of Kenai, I believe, is all over kind of here. Talkeetna over this way. Oh, starting to get a little bumpy. We can... Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, you can kind of feel the little bit of the choppy rhythm of the aircraft bouncing. Landing light. Okay, we can turn the pitot heat off. It's 15 Celsius up here at altitude. I'm going to set the heading bug preset to where... Right now, we're going to come in and activate vector to final. And we are going to set heading. And actually, no, you know what? We can leave it on nav mode because we're about to intercept the course anyway. So this is the runway we're going to. There's a smaller one back here that we're not. This is water. That's whoops. That's the taxiway. And you all can't see it. Sorry. So yeah, here's the runway that we're landing on. This is water. This is the taxiway. And there's a really small runway set to the side that we're not doing anything with. Alright, so we are going to have to get slowed down. So we are going to disconnect the autopilot. Easy up. Try to bring our speed down a little bit here. It is bumpy. Wow. Alright, we're slow enough we can put flaps to half. Whoa! It is, I mean, this is very bumpy. Gosh. Shouldn't quite be trimmed like that. This trim doesn't want to reset right. Alright, we need to go put some power in full forward on the mixture. Let's let go of the stick, nose is dropping, we need to trim up. We're gonna have some tricky power management here because it's so windy. Or it's not windy, we're coming in with a little bit of a tailwind. It's bumpy is what it is, it's turbulent. This is some of the rougher turbulence that I've had to go through in the sim. So pretty much everything's been pretty light overall. This is definitely more moderate. Although it's definitely light now. Just 1,000 feet higher than this, and it was like, holy cow. Alright, let's slow down, take the power out completely, level off. Yeah, we're good. We can go full flaps. Now we gotta put the power back in. Keep our speed coming in. We're a bit high, but I'm carrying a little bit of extra. Little bit of extra altitude. We have a lot of runway to work with too, so. Looking a little better on course here. On glide path, I should say. Still a little bit fast. I don't know how this is gonna go. It's smoothed out a bit. We're a little bit low now. And we're landing. It said variable at 6. Variable. It's going straight down the runway in the opposite directions. We're landing with a 6-7 knot tailwind. Whatever. We can do it. Nice and easy. Power out. Floating a little bit. We're down at minimum speed though. Minus 83. Not bad. Alright, let's go flaps up. And we're not gonna make that turn. And it looks like the next one's a little ways down. Oh, that's a service road. Yeah, that's not an option. Okay, here's the next one. Alright, so we're gonna taxi over. We're gonna actually just stop right here for a second. Park and brake. Flaps are up. Turn that off. Lean the mixture for peak RPM because we're gonna have a bit of a taxi and then we're gonna have a taxi back. 1036 was. There we go. That's peak. And landing light off, we'll leave the nav light on for the taxi. Clear to the left and the right. Yeah, it's clouding over a little bit more up that way. Beautiful out that direction that we came in from. Now let's go up this way. Look at all these taxiway lights in the middle of the taxiway. This line, this solid line right here is the center line, but the lights are all going right through. I mean, this just doesn't make any sense. I really need a scenery fix for this airport. Gosh. I'm not even sure where the FBO building, I guess you would say. I mean, I guess we could park over here. I think it would be designated somewhere over here. This airport. This, yeah. Oh, this scenery desperately needs a little bit of an update, or like this airport just needs a nice scenery package. So this is one of the worst ones that I've seen. It's for the it's for the trucks so they don't block the runway. I have those still drive out there on their own. Alright, here we are. We're gonna go ahead and shut the engine down. So mixture goes full forward. Power is idle. Parking brake is set. Nav lights off. Boost pump off. Flaps are up. We can go ahead and pull idle cutoff. Engine is stopped. Strobe lights off. Magneto's off. Avionics master off. And it was a 40-minute flight, so what did we say? 36? 34, something like that. So now here we are. Alternator switch is off, and yeah, we can cut the battery switches off. Alright, well here we are, folks. Welcome to Kenai, Alaska. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be heading to Kodiak in just a couple minutes. So I'm going to get up real quick. And when we come back, we'll go ahead and get set back up to go to Kodiak. Alright, we're back. And we only burned 13% of our fuel on that little short hop. So rather than exit back out and reload, which I had thought about doing, I decided we're just going to go ahead and set up from here. If we wanted to, we could go up here and change the weight and balance of the plane, add or drop off passengers, or etc., stuff like that. But for simplicity, we'll just go ahead and start back up. So, just like before, battery switches on. Systems will initialize. But what we do need to do is go into the flight plan, cancel VNAV. I should learn how to do all of this from within the sim. Kind of be a good. Press flight plan to view the previous page. Yeah. Ah! That's not right. Delete flight plan. Invert would basically plot, you know, back up to Talkeetna if we wanted it to. But what we'll go ahead and do here is type in, or since we're going from Kenai, we'll type the identifier PAEN. Oh, come on.
We are forever learning, one step at a time. As long as the world is turning, I'll be by your side. We'll keep the fire burning. I'll never see you hurt. You know I can't explain it in a way of words. We both know that you'll understand. You'll see,
Now we don't have a departure procedure.
and I'll go out of my own way.
Now why is it not letting us set that? Oh my gosh.
For you, I'll go out of my own way.
Procedure to view the previous page. No, I don't want that. Come on. That's the navigation page. Airport information. Origin. Oh, that's showing the active flight plan. Well, how do you set one up to start? And this is what I'm having. Select cursor? No.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way.
I don't know. I mean, what we can just do is set direct PADQ, which is going to be our destination, Kodiak, Alaska.
Life is happy, but it's so
I don't understand why it would not let us load in Kenai as an origin airport. Activate. Now what comes up? Yeah, here we go.
I'm coming home. So
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Alright. Well, we got that up. So now we'll have our course plotted out to go to Kodiak. Let's go ahead. Strobe lights on. Mixture goes back to full rich. Boost pump. Get these warnings again. Shut down the airplane. Full throttle. Bump back. And just touch forward now. Engage the magnetos. Clear left. Clear right. Yeah, we're good. Alright. Clear! Oil pressure's immediately up into the green. The temperature's starting to rise. We can turn the alternator switches on. And let's lean for best power. Or for peak RPM. Tiny bit more. Yeah, there we go. Just a tiny bit forward now. Alright, that's peak. Pull back to idle power. So that's all set up, so we're gonna take runway 2. Yeah, it would be 2 left because we came in on 20 right, because that was a stiffer tailwind than I thought it would be. Even though we have a lot, we're basically parked halfway, so it just makes more sense to go 2 left. Let's go ahead, turn the nav lights on, avionics on. Zoom in, we can see the airport a little better. Alright. We don't need any extra fuel, that's one of the nice things. We carried plenty and we didn't use much on our way. We'll go ahead and release the parking brake and we'll come up forward a little bit here. And that's turn over to the taxiway that we're going to take. And we're going to make a left turn. I mean, just look at these lights in the middle here. It doesn't make sense. Clouds are building up definitely down that way. Hopefully the weather's still okay at Kodiak. I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but it was okay. It's not as nice as it is here in Talkeetna. There's the control tower, some other buildings here. Yeah, this airport, for the size of it, this is one of the more popular airports, I believe, in Alaska. I mean, Kenai is like the 5th largest town, if I'm not mistaken. That's true, you have Soldotna, but Kenai is, I want to say, like the 5th or 6th busiest airport in the state. I'm gonna look it up. I'm actually curious. I believe it's the 5th or 6th busiest, but I could have that wrong. I know Anchorage is first, Fairbanks is second. I believe Juneau is probably third because it's the 3rd largest city. Slow down a little bit here. There's the GA ramp, so that's all that parking down there. Another ramp over here that's... Oh, I see, yeah, you have to turn up those connectors and that taxi over. That's a bit lengthy. And they're missing a sign right here. A hold position sign. Alright. We've taxied down, set the parking brake. Quick run up. Since we shut down the engine and everything, we should do a run up. Now if we were just drop off and didn't shut down, You probably wouldn't, but it's good measure too anyway. Let's go ahead and bump the mixture full forward. Power quickly up to 1700. Quite that high. I'm gonna back off a little bit on the power. Alright. Mag checks. Right. Good. Alright, that's good there. Electrical, everything looks good. Leave that one on. Engine instruments are all looking good. Idle power. Set the flaps to half. Check the flight controls. Rudder's good. Elevator's good. Ailerons are good. Back into the cockpit. Flaps are set. Alright. We are going to cruise at 20,000 feet on our way to Kodiak. Oh, come on. So much trouble setting that. And we will reinitialize now. Whatever. Close enough that way. Grab the weather again real quick, just make sure no changes since we last took off. Kenai. Variable at 6, 24 Celsius, 30.14. Yeah. We are all good there. So runway heading is going to be that. VNAV is on. FLC needs to be reset. 110. .110, not 112 or 113 or 109. Come on. Oh my gosh. There we go. I was having some real difficulty there for a moment. Alright. Let's go ahead and zoom out there. Taxi out onto the runway. It's double markings. That's another mistake. Gosh. Yeah, you can kind of tell here where some old markings were marked out, but still, I don't know. This airport needs some better scenery. Alright, here we go. Airspeed is already alive. Go full power. And engine instruments are looking good. Same as usual, 77 knots we rotate. There we go. And we're off the ground below 480, which is pretty good. There's 90, we can bring flaps up. There's the water strip for seaplanes. Take a look right there. Look at those mountains in the distance too. Wow. That's pretty. .800 feet, we can go ahead and turn and engage the autopilot. And look out that way too. That's pretty. Town should be somewhere over here if I'm not mistaken. There's 800, we can engage the autopilot. And we'll turn and intercept the course. No! Other way! Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. This thing doesn't want to cooperate. Alright, let's go ahead and reset the track for the flight. PAEN-PADQ. There we go. coming back over the airport right here. And now take a look out that way. So yeah, the town of Kenai is all kind of right over here. Turn to intercept the track. Soldotna is not far. I believe it's right over here. Now that we're higher up, take a look over at the mountains across the, Wow, this is still the Cook Inlet, technically. Yeah, now you can see the whole town of Kenai. Really? It's gonna do that? Ah, that's just wonky. Alright. Well, anyway, yeah, here's the airport. Here's the water strip for seaplanes. There's the other runway. It's like gravel and, I guess, snow for planes with skis. Yeah, I really want some good airport scenery for Kenai. Of course, here's the town. All of this around here. And I believe, yeah, this has to be Soldotna, right out there. Of course, these are the other mountains at the Kenai Peninsula. Climb up a little ways, we'll be able to see Homer and Seldovia. And you can see the clouds building up, but maybe we'll have enough of a break in the clouds and have some nice weather going into Kodiak. Seven Celsius up here. Let's go ahead and turn the pitot heat on. Landing light can come off. Now we've got more fuel than expected, so we'll just go ahead and do the full power climb rich at peak. So we just lean to the bottom of the green arc. Should be about 35. Good right there. Look at all the snow out there. Alright, let's take a look at our route. So that it didn't get routed properly from the airport takeoff, but whatever, we're on the track, so we are everything like south of right here. Oh my gosh, alright. Behave. It's gonna take us over the Kenai Peninsula. Gonna ride over the edge, pass over here. Homer, Seldovia is over here. Right over the southern tip. And then, of course, we've come into Kodiak many times, so coming into there. Now, I don't have my scenery package for Kodiak loaded, so it's going to be the default scenery, which is adequate. But the default scenery at Kodiak isn't bad. I mean, the biggest things missing there are the couple of the buildings and the extended parking spaces, but overall, it's okay. But, yeah, it should be a pretty straightforward and simple flight. 20,000 feet's our cruise. And I actually need to pull this up to check. 20,000 feet. Showing 55 minutes. So of course the ETA hour and 13 is incorrect. It does show us having a pretty good tailwind on the way down. If that's actually the case, we'll see. But at the moment, we're going to get a weather update here in just a little bit. But at the moment, the weather in Kodiak is not looking too bad. Not great, not terrible. There are some high clouds, so there's not going to be much sun shining, but it's not raining and it's not low ceilings, so it's not going to be difficult to get in. Wind is kind of unusual though, so we may actually end up shooting a different approach to a different runway. So that'll be kind of fun if we do that, and it's currently showing 16 Celsius or 61 degrees Fahrenheit. So a little bit cooler than up here in Kenai and Anchorage and Talkeetna.
Empty hearts and neon lights. The playing with my mind. Gotta get out.
It's a beautiful day in most of Alaska.
Oh, I wanna run off and fly.
Keyword is most.
Tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started. Get me out of now. To where we started. Get me out of now. To where we started. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh.
Gotta switch fuel tanks. It was okay, but it's taking less time for the imbalance to show up just because we're going at full power climb. Whereas when you do the cruise climb, you burn significantly less. And I think when we took off, it was not totally even. So, which is okay. You're allowed to do that, but you get to have too much of a difference, and you'll get an indicator. And then I think after an extended period of time, it'll give you a caution because it can actually disrupt the weight and balance of the plane. I don't know for sure if that's the case. I've never let it get to that point. Relative and zoom out a bit on the map. There's 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead, set standard pressure. Minus 18 Celsius right here. Are we gonna be going through some of these clouds? If so, we probably should go ahead and prepare our de-ice or anti-ice systems. Whoa. So anyway, Kenai is back up here, Soldotna is over here. Can't see it right now because the cloud's ahead, but Homer is not far ahead. Kind of just behind the clouds. With 22 knot crosswind, and we're getting an 8 knot tailwind component right now. Minus 22 Celsius. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn de-ice on and cabin heat. There's 20,000 feet. Go ahead and set cruise power. Looking for 30.5 on manifold pressure. There it is. That's peak power right there. Yeah, so we are going to go through some clouds up here. These kind of clouds at 20,000 feet, just... It's another thing the sim needs is kind of a little bit more realistic weather. But when I say that, I should say more realistic cloud types. The live weather, they actually do a really good job at taking all of the live weather. The winds... the temperatures and winds aloft, clouds, all of that, they do a good job. Simulating turbulence, they do a good job. Simulating icing, I'm fairly impressed with how they do that. The clouds, I'm less impressed with. Hopefully Flight Sim 24 will bring some real improvements on the cloud types that we have in the sim and the behavior of the clouds and stuff like that. Now we're leveled off up here. Cruising speed is showing us about 39 minutes to go. So this is jumping around. There we go. Any ice? I don't see any yet. No, that's good. Now, if you take a look over here, it's kind of behind this, but Homer's basically along here. Or no, it's not. No, that's these airports over here. So Homer is going to be kind of down here below the clouds. I guess we can shut the de-icing off for now, as we're not really going through any of these, and now these up here might be a little bit taller. We may get a tiny bit of icing through them, but the good news is up here too we are getting the sun, so any little bit of ice that we could pick up would be melted off pretty quick. .228 over the ground. That's pretty good.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, now I find you in my dreams.
Yeah, see, it's a little unusual that we'd be going through these kinds of clouds at 20,000 feet in the air. This is the kind of stuff that you would see at lower altitudes. And we're almost certainly going to have to turn our de-icing on for this. We're going to go straight through this. And temperature minus 22, that's pretty likely that we would pick some ice up. But as long as we're not in this kind of stuff long, we should be okay. If you think back to if you were there with me for the flight we did from Dawson to Old Crow over in the Yukon, we were in clouds off and on the entire flight, and there were clouds that were higher up that were preventing the sun from really being able to help melt us off. So we had to stay on top of the icing consistently, and it was a challenge. But since we're going through it pretty infrequently as it stands, we should be fine. I don't think we're going to be able to see Homer. Yeah, no, it's all down there. It's probably clouded over. Well, a little bit of a gap, perhaps breaking the clouds. Yeah, just the tiniest bit. That's basically Homer right down there. Can't see the airport though. Yep, there it is. A little bit of ice starting to form. A very nominal amount. So, just something to monitor, just a tiny bit here. And we get through that, and that'll start melting off pretty quick. See just a couple little ice spikes. Wow. That's kind of pretty up there, although I wish you could see the scenery. So I wonder, we're probably still too far away from it, but of course it isn't showing up, and that's because we don't have a true active flight plan to go that way. I'm gonna see if I can't mess around with this a little bit here. Flight plan, yeah, see, we don't even have one active. Flight plan catalog would kind of be neat. That was one of the options that was grayed out. So if I hit menu, and delete flight plan, it's still sending me on a, you know, on a direct track. That's map settings. I don't want map settings. Press the FMS cursor to return to the base page. Yeah. So if I do that, active flight plan nearest, and then that sends you all of those. Shows you all the options there for runways, airports. And I don't know. Airport. Oh, and that just, no, that scrolls through the list, so that doesn't help. Yeah, no, that's not good for anything. Oh, well. Basically, if you could see down, Seldovia is, yeah, right down here. Yeah, I mean, you still can't really see much of it. This is where the clouds have really started to gather and thicken up, so to speak. Exit icing. Yeah, we're out of it. We can shut that off. We'll turn it back on before we start going through the next bunching of clouds. Bunching. Is that even really a word? It's because where they're all bunching up in front of me. Is that a word? Does that make any sense? De-icing back on. And yeah, fuel flow and fuel burn is okay. So I'm gonna have to pull the map up to try to get the weather for Kodiak. Kind of frustrating that I can't get what I want in the actual display on there. Alright. Weather. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. The wind. Yeah, okay. 030 at 12 gusting to 18 knots. We can't land runway 26 with that kind of a tailwind. I mean, we have a lot of length, but it's just not practical. It's not really safe. So I mean, technically, yes, we could. Is it a good idea? Probably not. 10 miles visibility, few clouds at 2,500, scattered at 3,400, so that's worse because clouds are forming lower to the ground. But it's not a lot. And then broken at 6,000, which actually means it's starting to clear up a bit. And the temperature's up to 17 Celsius. And 30.16. So that's kind of better, kind of worse. So our best option is probably going to be to come in on... You can't land runway 8, because the mountain at the end of the runway there. You could do runway 1, but what you would have to do is circle all the way around and come in. 1-1 would be that way. That's not really a good option because we'd have a really strong crosswind. Could do that. 1-9, same thing. That'd be a tailwind. 2-6, be taking a strong tailwind. 2-9 would be like that. That would also be with a heavy crosswind. So we're probably just going to take runway 1. So what we need to do is our VNav on? It is. Select approach, and we're going to go right down here to visual runway 1. And we'll just set to this fix that says straight. Activate. Okay. And it isn't showing us a top of descent at the moment.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find a light in your soul, I'll be there.
Well, I'm not really sure why we're not getting a top of descent point.
I believe in you in the darkness, even when you're out of focus. I will be the light in your life, you'll see clear. I'll be your inspiration, 'cause I know that you'll do just what you're told. I'll be your heart and temptation, 'cause I know that you'll make it on your own.
We just passed over the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula. We're just a little bit past the halfway point. And if you look up ahead, it looks like some of the heaviest clouds have kind of lifted. Oh, look at there. But, yeah, I'm not really sure. Enable VNav. And exit icing. Yeah, we can turn that off. Okay, now we get a top of descent point. It's in just a couple miles. 236 over the ground down here. The winds aloft are stronger, but we're also higher up, so that would make sense. As the winds aloft tend to be stronger as you go up in altitude, up to the jet stream, which I don't know, it's 20 No, not 20. 30 to 40,000, just depending. A bunch of factors that go into it. And you can hear the wind whistling. A little bit of clearing out over there.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars.
I wonder if we set the fix to final, if that would adjust.
And I wonder where you are.
I mean, I'm sure it would. It would probably push our top of descent point. Yeah, it pushes it in a little closer. Let's do that and pull the map up and take a look. Because what it would have us do, and we're probably going to have to adjust for this. So final is down here, but then it's going to have us turn. So what we'll do is activate a vector to final. And we'll probably, as we get over the airport, we'll fly out on a heading, turn to intercept the course. So we're gonna need to check our safe altitudes right in the area around Kodiak, 4,700. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and lower. Set for 11,000 for now. Tech Chariot, welcome. Me want cookie. So when we pass over top of descent point, the plane will automatically start on the way down, and we will have to use the throttle to control our airspeed. Remember, when we begin our descent, if we are using VNAV, vertical descent rate is, or vertical speed is fixed, and we use the power to control our speed. If we use the FLC in descent, our speed is fixed, and we use the throttle to control our vertical speed, or our rate of descent. To take your midway into rank to looking for a skilled pilot. Ooh. There you go. I'd have to learn how to fly the airplane, but we can pull our power back to about 35% is good. Actually started speeding up because we left the throttle in for a short time on the descent. It's good for being a pilot for the midway. The planes are tanky. Yes, they are. A little bit of a view out here. Yeah, the skies definitely are broken. There's more clouds building up that way. The wind coming in is going to make it kind of tricky, though. This is going to be a really weird approach, not flying into 2.6 like we normally do. Let's hit it there. Careful of the bears on Kodiak Island. Yeah, don't want to hit a bear in a plane. Yikes. I see your reference there. Attack you if you get too close. Rawr! Right up here is Kodiak Island, which is it's part of the Kodiak Island chain, but it is separated by a little bit of water. This right here is called Raspberry Island. I'm not sure why. That would be worse than hitting an eagle, most definitely. Yes, what we're gonna end up doing is flying up over I've got to think this through. Certainly the terrain is not going to be as steep if we come out over this way, cross over the airport, and fly a heading, rather than try to maneuver through all this terrain and then turn. That's going to be tough. Yeah, what we'll probably do is set a course, fly over the airport this way, and then we've got terrain right there. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tight maneuver, but I think we can do it. Thought you got a nice effect with the mountain chain. I appreciate that. It still needs a little bit of refining, though. And we need to set 30.14. Runway 1. Runway heading is 7.8, so right 8 degrees basically. This is gonna be tricky. This is gonna be tough. It'll be fun though. Let me pull this up again and take a look. So we come down over here. Could set the course to fly out over kind of here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So that course track is 178. Heading's 170. That's... We're gonna have to turn that a bit more. Probably about one, not that much. Maybe 165 to get ourselves out over the water. We'll fly kind of down here between Kodiak downtown. We'll fly basically right over the city and come back in. Okay. Weather's not too bad. The sun is actually kind of making it down to the island. Although it is mostly cloudy. Continue the descent a little more. Now we can turn it actually. Now why'd it level off? Is it gonna start descending us like it should? Oh, VNAV has popped back up, so it should be tracking it down for us. I mean, what in the world? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and descend on our own. Alright, and let's do that. Love when the navigation stuff doesn't do what I expect it to. You kind of have to fly by hand. Not by hand like without autopilot. But you basically have to set the speed, the altitude, descent rate, heading, course, all of that stuff by yourself. It's like, come on. Do we have any update on weather? And all is still showing the same 30.16 on the altimeter now. -1, so we're probably not going to get, we do get any little bit of ice, it'll melt when we descend, it's going to warm right up. Yeah, there we go. Zoom in on the map a little bit. Turn a couple degrees. And now I need to just review the altitudes over our expected course. 18. Some of it, it's 2,000. Yeah, I would say to descend. I would think all the way down to 2,000, maybe a little bit low. 3,000 would be safe. Let's just raise it to 3,000. There we go. We're gonna have a good view of the town. There's some of these broken clouds here. Look at that there, that's cool. Let's go ahead and do a couple descent items. Boost pump stays on. Did we not turn that off in cruise? I mean, it's not a big deal if we didn't. It kind of helps to suppress vapor. Fuel vapors. I haven't heard this song before. This is kind of interesting. Not really sure it's my type, but down through some of these clouds here. Oh, we need to descend faster than that. Come on.
I feel like that we're getting closer to a brand new night. The past is finally getting over. I really think it's time to say goodbye.
I don't know why it's doing that there. Alright, what we're going to go ahead and do here is activate vector to final. And we'll look to turn in kind of that area. Zoom in a little more here. So, if we, yep. Now we're starting to get a little bit of clearing here, so we'll be able to see Kodiak downtown. Attitude is greater than altitude. Not necessarily. Depends. Have I ever done a flight entirely upside down? No. I've flown extended periods of time upside down, but I mean, in the sim, it's kind of fun to screw around with that kind of stuff. Although, in the real world, that would not be a viable option because when you're upside down, your body's producing -1 Gs, and the blood flow to your head will become extremely uncomfortable after a while. Look down there. Look at that. What a view of the city of Kodiak. Holy cow, that's cool. And then if you take a look right here is the Kodiak Downtown Airport. We've landed and taken off there 1 or 2 times. And Lily Lake, which is for the seaplanes. And of course all of the town and everything. There's a Walmart up here. And a grocery store, I think. And we just gotta keep descending. So here's Kodiak Station. This is the main airport. This is where we're landing. And let's grab a look outside real quick. So this is the runway we're going to be landing on right here. So we'll be coming in over there. This is why you can't land on runway 8, because the mountain starts rising right there. Yeah, so we can continue down. And we're going to go ahead and slow the plane down. Kind of turn the landing beam with the runway there. We're going to turn the FLC off. And we're going to go idle power. We just need to watch our cylinder head temps. Let them not get below 240, or if they do, let them not for a long time. And we're below 150. We're going to go ahead and dump flaps immediately. There we go. Gonna go half flaps. Disengage the autopilot. And let me check trim. Whoa, not quite like that. Shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, and that's how fast we slow down. So we've got room to maneuver over here. We don't want to get too steep, and we don't want to let the nose drop too much. Let's do some final items here. Landing light on, mixture full rich. Boost pump is on. Here's the runway we're landing on. There's the Coast Guard base.
Bound only by frozen memories. Lost in time. Racing all these broken dreams.
Below 110, we can go full flaps. And that's what we're going to need to do to straighten to steepen our approach rate. And we're through final. Don't want to get too slow, we need to add some power in. We blew quite a bit through final. Sorry, we can work with that. So you don't have a lot of room to maneuver over here. Take a little bit of that power out. We're still high. Let's really try to kind of counteract some of that with the trim a little bit. And we add some power in. And here we go, we're getting closer to on course. Anywhere between 13 and 18. Slowing down a little bit now. But yeah, it's gusty. These altitudes here. Add a little bit of power in. 500 feet to go. Of course, the strong winds. I mean, they're almost right down the runway, which is favorable for us right now, but still kind of. Now we're starting to get a little bit low. No, we're on course. And the wind's gusty right over here over the land, over the trees. And look at that though, there you get to see the city of Kodiak in the distance. Oh. Well, holy cow, how about that? Get that wind all of a sudden right there. It's kind of getting squirrely. We're right on course, we're nice and slow, gonna take the power out, gonna flare. And now we're floating. Easy. Easy. That's not gonna be good. 102, actually that's not as bad as I thought. But of course we get slow, the nose wheel just wants to drop. That wasn't as bad as I thought, but not particularly great. I mean, we've had better. We've had, I think the best one so far was minus 30. So I generally try to target minus 50 to 75. 1129 right there. We're gonna roll past that, and we're gonna turn on 826, which is gonna be this one right up here. We could take the taxiways, but I mean the runway. It's just as much of an option. Let's put the power in and just be able to roll 30-40 knots down this runway here. There's that cross runway. We passed back over again. We could have taken the shortcut and turned on to that, I guess. And there's the parallel taxiway that we would have missed. And look right there at the summit of that is called Barometer Mountain. And I remember that mountain peak from my days of playing Flight Sim. Flight Sim 10 was back 15 years ago. We're going to go ahead and turn off here. Taxi into parking. We can go ahead and turn the landing light off and clear the runway. Pitot heat off. Let's get on the brakes and slow a little bit here. Flaps are up. We'll taxi over here and get parked. And we'll call it quits. Park right alongside here, maybe. Set parking brake. Nav lights off. Those are all off. Strobe stays on. Shut the fuel switch pump off. Mixture's full rich. Power's idle. Let's go ahead and pull the mixture. Indicators. You might get a parking ticket there. Nah. Alright, we park wherever. There's no marshallers out over here, so. Oh yeah, you might get more than a parking ticket if you parked on the Coast Guard base or something. I'm on that side there. Strobe lights can come off. Magneto switch all the way to off. Everything down here looks good, and we are going to shut the avionics switch. A 58-minute flight from Kenai to Kodiak. Not bad. Alternator switch is off, and the battery switch is off. Alright, here we are, folks. Welcome to Kodiak, Alaska. Thanks for joining me, all of you. Hope you enjoyed the two flights. We did from the first one from Talkeetna to Kenai, and the second one from Kenai to here, Kodiak. And we'll definitely be doing some more here in the near future. As always, thanks for flying with me, and hope to catch you aboard on the next one. And until then, take a look at the mountain real quick. No, anyway, yeah, okay. Until then, folks, take care. Stay safe. We'll see ya.